Okay, fellas, dudes and dudettes, happy belated National Pizza Day, though. That was a couple days ago for us Turtle fans. Today we are breaking down IDW Collection Books 3 and 4 with the covers of Leonardo and Donatello. Oh my gosh. So, dude, I know Christian's here with us again, guys. TMNT Talks, superstar host of Podcast for Ninja Turtles. For me, to set the tone for those who have never read these books, if anybody was a big wrestling fan, and we're going to go to more WCW this time, I want you to think mid-90s. I want you to think, who's joining the NWO? Who's Team WCW? Because that analogy is going to be what the tone is for these two books, because you don't know where the loyalty is for at least half a dozen characters in this. Am I right, Christian?
Oh, absolutely. There's really some big... first two volumes, first two books, awesome. But it feels like they were just a build up for what's coming now, because now we're getting into really big storylines. And yeah, there's a lot going on, and you don't know who will do what for whom. And it gets really wild here. Yeah.
It's going to get quite intense. So, Christian, feel free to get us kickstarted with book number 3.
Yeah, the IDW collection, volume 3, starts off with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles annual 2012. And that thing is a classic Kevin Eastman story. It starts off with Raphael and Casey. They're just goofing around. And because of their goofing around, they cause a car to crash. And a briefcase with some diamonds goes flying. And the whole story is about everybody's after these diamonds, after this briefcase, the Foot, the Savate ninjas, some corrupt cops, and so on and so forth. So many. It's like a big storyline. It's like a big crime thriller storyline. And it's wild, it's crazy, and in the end, Casey throws the diamonds into the river. Nobody gets anything, and it's like a big fight between all these gangs. And in the end, it's for nothing. And yeah, even Shredder gets very angry about this. But yeah, it's a wild story, but it feels just like classic Kevin Eastman. This story, it could fit very well also into the Mirage universe, in my opinion. And it just feels so cozy, so blast from the past, and I like it. That's so cool.
Oh, and I just me personally, I wish the artwork like that would stay throughout the books. As you said in our last podcast last week, the artwork is going to change as we progress into the evolution of the IDW Turtle universe. It just hits home more, because again, it's what I'm more familiar with is the artwork by the badass himself, the creator, half of the creator of the Ninja Turtles, Kevin Eastman. So crazy way to start off, dude. It was about a 50, 60 page annual, a very deep, very hard hitting, a lot of action, and don't you guys go anywhere though, because we're going to come right back with issue number 21.
Oh yeah, issue number 21 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In this story, the Turtles, they run into a mysterious masked fighter who seems to know their every move and who mocks them, and they chase him across the city, but he's just too good. And this is one big fight scene across the city, and in the end they come back to the church lair, and it turns out that this mysterious masked fighter is none other than Splinter, because Splinter was testing the Turtles because he feels that there is something going on in the city and it may cause trouble, and he wanted to prepare the Turtles for the unknown. So, you never know who's gonna confront you, never know who's gonna come after you, so you have to be ready for just this. And yeah, that's some pretty nice foreshadowing there. And in the end, we also see that in Japan, Dr. Miller, that we met in the last volume, has found what Shredder was looking for. And that is the body of Kitsune. Da-da-dam! And that's where issue number 21 ends.
I have heard so much talk, because as we're doing this, I'm not only reading this, I'm looking at other reviews and just trying to see other people's opinions on this IDW collection as a whole. And I wanted to ask you this too, Christian. I forgot to ask this before we started this book. Well, we're not going to make a tier list for you, buddy, but is this one of the better books? Because I have heard a lot of people say this is their favorite book. There's a lot of story development here, a lot of shockers, and a lot of action. Now, I have a long way to go for my first read, but since you have read all these IW collection books, where does this one rank? Number 3.
Oh, it's just talking about book number 3. This was like the first epic story, because where we're gonna go now, this is like really a big storyline, and it really feels so epic, and you really get the feeling that like everything can happen. You don't know, maybe not everyone will survive this, maybe not everyone will come out of this unharmed. And yeah, this is to be honest, with this book, it's IDW TMNT at its best, and that's really saying something, because I'm a really big fan of the IDW TMNT comics to this day, because there's so much going on, so much characters, such a big world that they've developed, and yeah, I can only say good things about this. And yeah, this where we're going right now, this is a big one.
Everything is starting to build, because we're going to see in the next issue here, guys, that Christian breaks down, Raph and Leo are finally starting to get that tension that we're familiar with, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because issue number 22 is the start of the City Fall saga. And here it starts off with Casey and Raphael, and they're getting captured by Karai and the Foot. But Raph is able to escape. So he goes to his brothers and Splinter, and they're like, hey, we have to save Casey. So the Turtles and Splinter, they go to the docks to save Casey. And there's a big fight with the Foot and the Shredder, but it was all just a trick, because to provoke the Turtles, and especially Raphael, he stabs Casey. And there's this scene where like Shredder rams his claws into Casey. It was like, oh my God, is he a goner? And yeah, this big dramatic fight, and in the end, it was all just to get to Leonardo, because Shredder then kidnaps Leonardo. The Foot Clan kidnaps Leonardo, and yeah, Casey is bleeding and not doing very well. And yeah, that's where issue number 22 ends.
Oh my gosh, dude, just, for a guy who's always seen Casey as Mr. Macho, Mr. Tough Guy, even he shows weakness there. And it's not weakness, just he is scared to death as to what he's encountering, and those phenomenal artwork in that issue we just covered. Coming up next, this one maybe one of the biggest tearjerkers, because this one was a little sad for me, learning a little sob with a buddy named Hob.
That was good. Yeah, as I said, we have the micro series with Old Hob, where we get a little more background about him. Old Hob, who was, as we find out, a normal house cat. But yeah, that's the part that really made me sad as a cat owner myself, is that he got thrown out into the cold street by an angry mother, because the kid wasn't able to take care of the cat, and this was really this is a hard moment. And yeah, he was thrown out onto the street, and he had to survive on the street, because until then he had a nice home, and he was taken care of. But now he's out on the street, and he's all alone. And we see how, as a street cat, he met Splinter when he was still a normal rat, and how his eye got bitten out, and how he got mutated, and how he became a test subject for Baxter, and went through all this torture and all these experiments. It's really horrible. And we also see the moment that we remember when he got shot by Baxter, that he survived that because he had some ooze on him that healed him. And now he is with Slash. He met with Slash, and they teamed up, and he has big plans for the future. And we're going to see where this is going.
Oof, yeah, as a dog owner or a pet owner, it's really sad to see, because there are kids that, that does happen in real life. I mean, the way it went was not the way it should have went down, in regards to, like, we need it for comics, but, there are people who do that, Chris. It's like, hey, give me that cat, give me that dog, I'll walk it, I'll feed it, I'll love it. And then after a couple months, you're going to take, Tubby out? Nah, I can't take out Tubby today. I'm kind of tired. Oh, that's how it's going to be. You got poop all over the yard? Yeah, so now we're starting the backstory of Hob, and I'm kind of interested where this is going, because like we talked about earlier, we both enjoy the Hob character, and I'm really excited to see where this goes, because he's not going anywhere in the issues we're breaking down. He's going to be right back here in issue number 23 and 24.
Absolutely. In issue number 23, it starts with Casey, who is brought to a hospital. And Leo, meanwhile, is brought to the Foot headquarters, where Kitsune who is now awake, who is now very active, starts a spell on Leonardo, and he has to go through some dramatic visions and nightmares where he gets brainwashed into thinking that Shredder is like his true master. He's like the only one who understands him, and Meanwhile, the Turtles and Splinter, they meet old Hob, and he tells them that he can help them. Meanwhile, Leonardo awakens from his nightmares, and Kitsune has a black bandana for him, because now he's the Shredder's Chunin. He's he's now part of the Foot Clan. That's what brings us straight into issue number 24, where Hob really shows the Turtles where the Foot Clan is hiding, and the Turtles and Splinter, they go into this warehouse where the Foot, Shredder, Karai, and Alopex are waiting. And then Leonardo steps out in full Foot armor and the black bandana, and he is now Shredder's Chunin. And this is a big fight, and everybody's like, no, this cannot be real, this cannot be true. But Turtles and Splinter, they barely escape this as Slash breaks into the hideout, and they are able to escape. They leave, but are heartbroken about the whole situation with Leonardo, and they don't know what they should do about this. And whoa, this is just a start.
Oh man, I can see why people, a lot of Turtle fans say that this is the good stuff right here. We're gonna see where it goes after the first 100, because that's where it says it dies down a little bit. But dude, this book right here, like we talked earlier, is pretty much IDW Prime at its finest, because I wish these writers here would have been writing, as we talked earlier, about wrestling, because that's what it gets to me. Like, I can't put this book down. I have to know what happens. And Hobbs' character stays true. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? He leads them in, and then he leaves. Like, right? That was the deal, right? It's like, hey, bring me the Turtles. So he worked for both parties, gets what he wants, just Leonardo being a bad guy. I never, what is going on here? So, woof. And now, what's also good about these books is they're like, no, we're going to make it, it's like when you're a married man, like when your wife's cooking your favorite dinner and your mouth just starts salivating. You're like, oh man, I can't wait. It's like, well, sorry, because we're going to have to preheat the oven, because now we're going to take a little back step and we're going to get you to learn a little bit more about Alopex.
Yes, we get the Alopex micro-series, where her story, first see her on a mission where she takes out some rivaling ninjas with ease. She's a great fighter. And then Shredder has a new job for her, as she is brought to Alaska, where the facility is where she was mutated. And she remembers her past from when she was a normal Arctic fox. And she feels really at home. But then Shredder orders his men to burn down everything, including the forest where Alopex's animal family lives. And she goes wild, and this is the final straw, and she goes crazy, and she even attacks Shredder. But Shredder, he is Shredder after all. He beats her and tells her that she is his, and she must do everything he orders. And Alopex can't do anything about it. And they fly back to New York. But Alopex, she promised herself that for what he did, she will kill the Shredder in the end. And so this is also like a start of a new way for Alopex that we're gonna see coming through in the next few issues. But that was also something, I gotta say.
Oh my god. So just the more we read this, just how great of a job did they make Shredder just probably be one of the most hated villains in the history of comic books in this series, dude. He has just no heart whatsoever, and he is such a master mind manipulator.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just see it here. He cares about nothing but his own goals, his own plans. He was, he's just, as you say, he's like manipulating everyone. And when they try to attack him and confront him, he shows what he's made of, and there's no one who can stop him, confront him. And if you confront him, you can't be happy if you walk out of it alive. So yeah, he's really up there when it comes to big villains. And yeah, there's a lot gonna happen with his character, and we see a lot going on with the Shredder. And yeah, to have like a little callback to an episode of my podcast of TMNT The Talk, when I was talking about with my friend about all the shredders. We made like this tournament, like a bracket with all the shredders, and we talked about who is better when he fight this one, or like character wise and so on. And gotta say, IDW Shredder, he took the throne out of this, because don't want to spoil, don't not gonna spoil it or anything,
Sure.
but Shredder's character will go through so much development over the course of the series, and he's such an interesting character, and there will be so much more about him. But just wait and see. He's really one of the greatest.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way, and he's even like when he fights somebody, he still even gives them like compliments. Because even in this book you just read here with Alopex, wow, I am impressed. You drew blood on me. That is very rare. You didn't hurt me, but you did better than most fighters I've known for generations. So even he, sometimes like, all right, how can I get the best out of this person? We already see what he's doing with his granddaughter, and we're going to find out more about her next. But the cool little treat here for those who have not read these books, another book that me and Christian love are Saturday Morning Adventures, and the one who wrote this Karai story is none other than Eric, who is the lead writer for Saturday Morning Adventures.
Oh yeah, he's really great. And as you said, I just freaking love Saturday Morning Adventures. And so, yeah, we have the Karai micro series, where we also find out a little bit more about her, where we see, like, we get this flashback when we see her as a young girl, and her father was the leader of the Foot Clan. But the Foot Clan, under the leadership of her father, has become like a modern criminal organization and lost the old ways, the honorable ways. And Karai was not happy about that. And so then she had a dream of Saki, of Oroku Saki, who told her that she can bring back the old Foot Clan with the help of the secret history of the Foot Clan. Yes, the book that we learned about in the last book, like the last issue. And so she started training in secret, and after a while, she was able to bring back the Foot Clan and even Orokusaki, as we already know. And in the present time, Dark Leo, like Leo of the Foot Clan, confronts Karai because he thinks she is disrespectful to him. And he defeats her in a fight, but Karai has her own plans for the future of the Foot with the help of some punks. And yeah, we're gonna see where this is going.
Yeah, it's like, wait, I kind of know some of those people there, because Eric just does such a great job of bringing everybody together, and it's just done in such a good way. It just gets you to crave more. You just can't put that pizza down. You got to have another slice, or your favorite beverage, your favorite chips and dips. So we're back right at it, and now we're finally, after that long micro series, a little breather. Now we're back into the main story here.
Yeah, with issue number 25. Here we see that Casey is in hospital. He's recovering, and April is taking care of him. And yes, finally, April and Casey, they share a little kiss. And yeah, meanwhile, the Shredder, he really wants to take over the underworld. He really wants to be the big boss of New York City. But the Savate Ninja, they don't want to lay low under the foot, and they have their own plans. Meanwhile, Splinter wants to join forces with Old Hop to get Leo back, but before Old Hop will, team up with Splinter, he has a mission for him. And somewhere else, two thugs are getting mutated into a warthog and a rhinoceros. And that was the big wow moment at the end of that issue.
Yeah, and it's going to be like a last man standing. Kind of like, do you remember the Joker? I think the Dark Knight came first. Maybe that was inspired in this. Remember that, where he's looking for recruits, and it's kind of like a last one standing wins?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That was the vibe I was getting here, where he's like, okay, you guys want in? Have fun. So, but now we're going to take a little bit of a breather again, because we're going to get a character from the 2003 series, but he's not who you think he is.
Yeah, we get a micro series for Han, and just as it was in the last book with the Fugitoid micro series, when this was announced, I was like, but we have not met him before. But with Han, yes, we did, because we find out that Han was an alias name of Arnold, Casey Jones' father. So we see the past of Arnold, and he was actually the leader of the Purple Dragons, and he was known as Han. But when he met his wife, he stopped that life, but when she died, he started drinking, or as we already know. And in the present time, Shredder confronts Arnold and tells him that he can be Han again if he works for him. So he gets some ooze, which turns him into a muscle mountain again, and he then is able to take over the Purple Dragons from Angel to be like the street gang that they were before and to work under Shredder. So yeah, Han is back.
Did you see this coming? And how do you like? I guess what I'm trying to say is, would you have rather had them use a different name besides Hun, although he has the look, or are you okay with it being Hun?
Oh, I did absolutely not see this one coming.
Right.
I did not expect this, and the more it surprised me. And it's like, with the 2003 show, there was also this connection between Han and Casey. And here, to make him his father, like this connection gets even deeper. And yeah, we're gonna see in the future that this really means a lot of family trouble, even more than before. That Han is now, like Arnold is now Han again, and that's gonna be like really troublesome for Casey in the future. And I think it's an interesting new take, and it's a nice twist that I definitely did not see coming.
Yeah, and it still works for me too. So coming up next, again for us old school fans, I always love how they do these Easter eggs. Once again, Tom Waltz loves doing this too, as we've talked about in the IDW Ghostbusters Ninja Turtles team up. And this one here, I mean, you're going to talk about, but it was cool seeing Donnie in an old school trench coat. Reminded me of the old figure in cartoon. I love it.
Oh yeah, it is like when seeing turtles in trench coats always, gives me this nostalgic feeling.
Yes.
Like it's somehow it must be this way.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 26. Here, Mikey meets Woody again. The pizza guy who like broke up with Mikey after the Slash incident, but they meet up and they like become friends again. And so good for Mikey. I'm really glad. But Woody is also able to help Mikey about this whole Foot Clan and Leonardo thing, because he knows that there are some dangerous places in New York where some crime guys hang out, and he doesn't want to deliver pizza there. And Mikey has an idea like, okay, maybe we can get a connection there. So meanwhile, Donatello and April, they visit Harold to get some text from him. So yeah, Harold, the guy from the Donatello micro series, is back. So meanwhile, the Foot Clan attacks the Savate Ninja because, as I said, they don't obey Shredder. And since he wants to take over the whole underworld of New York, they're like, okay, if you're not with me, you're against me. So they attack them. There's a big fight. And Splinter is meanwhile on a mission for Old Hop where he steals some mutagen from StockGen, and as he is able to sneak in ninja-like, get the mutagen, get out again, Old Hop then in the end blows up the whole building, and yep, that's the end of StockGen. So yeah, that's where we are. Like Splinter and Old Hop are teaming up because it's like Splinter just wants his son back, and he sees that okay, Old Hop he can help. He's like for now he's one of the lesser evils. So yeah, they are teaming now. They're teaming up now.
Yep. And I enjoy their chemistry because again, it's just such good writing. There's just so much going on. It's just a delicious soap opera of all the turtle characters we've known for years and decades. So coming up next, this one I'm going to set the tone for you because we've got two dudes, and this one reminded me of the Dumb and Dumber scene just because they were so broken. It's when Jim Carrey's character goes, "We got no food, we got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off." That's kind of the route that this next issue's coming in.
Yeah, Bebop and Rocksteady microseries. Oh boy. We find out that Bebop and Rocksteady were just some punks who got kicked out of every gang in New York. They want to just be part of a gang. They want to like have some friends, but because they're not the smartest guys, they get kicked out of every gang in New York. But then they hear about the Foot Clan and they're like, "Oh, this is the best gang of them all," and they want to be part of it. When Karai held a death match, they both were the winners, and this is like the prize was that they get mutated. Later on, as they are already mutants, they have a mission with Karai, who is visiting a criminal organization called the Ghost Boys, and they should just be guards. This should just be intimidating, but as Bio and Rockstar usually do, they mess up, and in the end, they destroy the whole building. Karai comes after them for the failure with a squad of foot ninjas. Bio and Rocksteady beat them all up, and even though Karai really wanted to get rid of them, they still want to be part of the Foot Clan. It's like, "Hey, we're still loyal. We just want to hang out with you." Like, so she's like, "Okay, maybe you still can be useful." So Karai keeps Bebop and Rocksteady around, and yeah, gotta say, to be total honest here, I freaking love Bebop and Rocksteady here because they are so intimidating, they are so powerful, but they're such idiots, and I just love this combination. And yeah, it's like, oh, big fan of them. Just big fan of these two.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. It took the words right out of my mouth. It's nice seeing them call Karai boss, pay homage to the cartoon. That's all they call Shredder. "Yo, boss, hey, boss, hey, boss." So it was nice to hear that. What else was there? Just, it's a good, I would say maybe age 14 stupidity, because in the cartoon, they were dumb, just maybe too dumb. But again, it was made for kids. Here, it's like, hey, we're just cool dudes who like you say, we just want friends. And it's like, "You idiots, you screwed up again." It's like, there's Bebop and Rocksteady. But you say they're just so powerful in here, and it's just the way the mutagen, the ooze, whatever you want to call it, works. And do you like either of them? And again, I'm happy they got the helmet on Rocksteady. We talked about that in the last issue when he was just in human form. So I like them both the same. I've always preferred Bebop a little bit, but so far I dig them both.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have one without the other here.
Yes.
It's just this way. I just love them just hanging out with each other. They're such good friends, and it's so nice. And I mean, one of my favorite scenes in this book is when they are going to, as they are mutants, and what? No, that was before they got mutated. Whatever. When they were talking about like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna be part of the Foot Clan, and we're gonna hang out with the Shredder. Come on, Shredder. He's gonna be the coolest. He's such a nice guy. He's definitely such a nice guy. He's gonna be the coolest, the nicest, the greatest." And there's a foot ninja with them, and he gets fed up with them. It's like, "Shut up! Have some respect for the Shredder." And they're like, "Oh, sorry." I love this scene.
Oh, he won't be your friend. Oh, yeah, no, they did a great job with them. Just as good as we talked about with the Michael Bay version. These guys are hip. And like I said before, where I started to not tail off, but just when I stopped reading this, I remember their micro series, which I can't wait to reread because it's been almost a very long time. The Bebop and Rocksteady Conquer the Universe. I'm pretty sure that's one of your favorite micro series in this, whole collection. I can't wait to relive those. But coming up, we have a back-to-back, more of the next time on Dragon Ball Z with more of the City Fall and little craziness coming here now.
Yeah, this is where it gets wild, starting with issue number 27, where Mikey's and Woody's plan actually works, and they go to some seedy parts of the town, and they find out where Shredder will be. Because there will be a big meeting of the whole New York City underworld to finally unite under Shredder. So the whole team, including Old Hob / April and even Casey, who is, you can't keep Casey down, they get ready. So Shredder starts his show in front of all the gangster bosses of New York at like this old theater. And in front of them, he decapitates the leader of the Savate for disobeying him. So, like to show off, like, hey, this is what will happen if you don't work under me. So then the good guys attack to get Leonardo back. Big fight, but then Karai comes in with Bebop and Rocksteady, which gets us straight into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 28, where big fight with Bebop and Rocksteady, and Turtles immediately like, okay, these guys are no joke. Casey even confronts Han. The Turtles, they try to get Leo out of this confused state and this brainwashed state and get back to them. Shredder and Splinter even have a short fight where Shredder is able to break Splinter's leg. Then Alopex attacks Shredder, but she gets hit with an arrow by a Karai and she's only able to escape. In the end, they are all able to escape with Leonardo. And Shredder then confronts Karai, but to her surprise, he tells her that she finally showed him her worth. And now she is his Chunin. Even after all that the Shredder put her through, she was still loyal to the Foot Clan, and everything she did was for the Foot Clan. And now she deserved this place by his side as his Chunin. And the good guys, they are pretty beat up, but April knows a place where they can rest. So they drive off to, finally get some relaxation and to reconnect with Leonardo.
Oh, there was so much good tension throughout this entire spot of Leonardo being like Dark Leonardo or Ultimate Leonardo. And how good has this character stood the test of time too, Christian? This character even has his own Funko Pop.
Yeah, it's like, he was like the big focus of this storyline, but they always talk about this situation because this was really a big moment for Leonardo. And as you said, we even get some action figures because, come on, he just looks so cool in his foot armor. So it's no surprise that we even get some action figures out of this version of Leonardo.
Do you have any in your personal collection? Just out of curiosity?
Unfortunately not.
Not
no,
yet? Okay,
not of him, no.
Well, maybe hopefully Santa can take care of that for you in 2026. So to wrap up this book, we have who we've been talking about is the dude who's the king of shredheads in your, like I say, in your turtle realm. And the more I read, probably he's going to be probably the king of mine as well. We have the Shredder Micro Series to end book 3.
Yeah, to finish off this book with the Shredder Micro Series, where we find out Shredder now is really the underworld boss. He's the big boss. But in a private meeting, he finally tells Kitsune what happened to him when he was dead, like when he died and before he was resurrected in modern times. And we find out that in the afterlife, he wandered this wasteland and met with other warriors. And he found a castle. And as Shredder is like, okay, this is like where the big boss of the underworld seems to live. So he's like, hey, I'm gonna take it over. So he got the warriors together and they attacked the castle to confront this king. And Saki was even able to kill this king, but it turns out that it is none other than himself as an old man, because as it appears, time is not linear in the afterlife. So that Saki will live again, but when he dies for real, he will become the ruler of this afterlife until a younger version of himself comes to take the throne in like this endless circle. So in the present time, Saki thinks about this, and he's not the guy who like just accept his fate. He's like, I want to change his fate. And even if later I will die, I will rule everything in the end. And yeah, that's the Shredder for you. And yeah, that's the end of the Shredder micro series and of book number 3 of the IDW collection.
Oh, so what stands out to you the most? I guess, how about your favorite part and your biggest shock? So my favorite part was just the whole Bebop and Rocksteady spot. So it was like we got a taste of it in the last book, and it's like, all right, they're finally here, awesome. And I love their battle with the Turtles because they're pretty much, they're not unbeatable. It's just because, again, that's their weakness, is their intelligence. That was my favorite spot. And the shocker was Hun being Casey Jones' dad. That was my big shock. How about you?
Yeah, this is really such a big storyline that always come back to, and there's so much good stuff in there. Like, yeah, Leo in his foot get up and confronting the other turtles, and it's like, oh my god, this is white, and just the whole action scene. Like this when into the final action scene, as you said, with Bebop, Rocksteady, the Foot Clan, and so on, it's like wild and crazy. The art is fantastic. And yeah, the biggest shocker that I think was for me was when Shredder stabbed Casey, because I was not sure if he will get out of alive, or if Casey is really done for. It really, like this in this storyline, like everything could have happened. And yeah, when I first read this, I remembered like, oh my god, did they really just kill Casey? Because hey, it was possible. So yeah, that's the biggest shocker for me, I guess.
And then how about your favorite part?
Oh, the favorite part. Yeah, that's pretty hard, I gotta say, because there's so much interesting stuff there, so much background story with the micro series that we learn about these characters, and yeah, but I gotta say, with the final battle, this really, like when Shredder breaks Splinter's leg, and like Alopex finally attacks Shredder. This whole fight there, there's so much going on there. I guess that's really the highlight here for me, like the big finale, like the climax of the storyline. That's really great for me.
Oh yeah, and what's great about this book too, I talk about this a lot when I stream on Twitch and YouTube at Shellonomics, is replay value. This book right here, to me, you have no problem reading it again and again and again, just in case you miss something. You get to appreciate more of the tension between Karai and Leo, because Karai is jealous as hell that Leonardo is the chosen one, so to speak, and
Yeah.
she's trying to do everything she can to just go behind his back, like, yeah, I'll do what you want, and then, like, try to undercut him. And finally, she gets what she was pushing for. And once again, Master Manipulator Shredder, he's like, well, he's always got another ace up his sleeve, pretty much. And we're going to find out more of those aces coming up in book number 4. But the crazy shocker when you get into this number 29, just these hurt when you read this. It's crazy how just reading a comic book in words can hit just as strong as watching something on the TV or hearing on the radio. When you see Leonardo say in this book that you're about to break down, issue 29, "You're not my master." Oh my God. The most loyal, he's like the Superman, the Boy Scout Ninja Turtle. To hear him say that, dude, I was like, I can't believe this is Leonardo.
Oh yeah, I'm totally with you there. When I read this scene, it really, you just Splinter's look there, it really breaks your heart, because Leo is still not completely himself, and you really get this feeling he's so confused, and Splinter, the others that just want to help him, but Leo's like, leave me alone. Like, whoa, Dark Leo's like still not completely out of the system for him. So yeah, this issue starts with the turtles and the friends. They arrive on the O'Neill farm in Northampton. So yeah, as the turtles, they are like getting ready for some relaxation to heal. Alopex appears, who was hitching a ride with the Turtles after her fallout with the Shredder. And the others, of course, they don't trust her because, hey, we've been fighting you, and especially Raphael does not trust her. And like April and Casey, meanwhile, they meet April's parents, and because there's like this house nearby, and the turtles they're hanging out at this barn that's down the road, so they don't meet each other. But yeah, we also find out that April's father is in a wheelchair after a stroke. And so, yeah, now we also know April's parents, and yeah, that's gotta say the start of the Northampton arc in the IDW comics.
And then just more twists and turns, just because everything just they do it such a great job of having the reader still be shocked. Like, you know something's going to happen, but you don't know where that twist is going to be. And the connection that we're going to find out with April's parents later, woof, it's going to get a little more intense. And now we're going to play a little bit of volleyball back and forth because we're going to bounce from the main issues to the Utroms.
Yeah, because like there's this miniseries called the Utrum Empire, a three-part miniseries that also always interconnects with the ongoing series. So Utrum Empire #1, we see in the present time on Burno Island, there's a storm brewing, and Baxter is still trying to sabotage Krang's technology. So Baxter meets with the Fugitoid, and Baxter wants to kill all the Utroms in stasis. But Fugitoid's like, okay, I also want to stop Krang, but this is not the right way. So he stops Baxter Stockman. Then we also get some flashbacks to the past where we find out that the Triceratons, they were mutated from Triceratops DNA samples from Earth. So they're not aliens, they're actually mutants. But later, Triceratons are the soldiers of the Utroms, and including a Triceraton named Zog. So, but after some time, the Triceratons rebel, and Zog even attacks Krang directly, but doesn't kill him and lets him live for now because it's like, hey, you can do better than the Utroms did with their under the leadership of Krang's father, Kwanin, because he was like attacking other planets, like spreading across the universe and like sending Triceraton soldiers to their deaths. So yeah, maybe so Zog lets Krang live for now, and we will see where this is going.
They do it once again, just little by little, just throwing in more characters. It's not just a whole all-you-can-eat buffet, like, brah, 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 have Triceratons, have Foot Clan, have Utron. Like, no, we're going to give you little by little as we grow. So, I'm excited to see where that goes with the Triceratons. But anyways, we've got our buddy Mikey trying to be a little peacemaker here, Chris. And he's trying to bring the band back together again here like the Beatles. You know, the band's broken up with the Turtles. Mikey in this next one is trying to get everybody to come back together here.
Oh, yeah. Because, Raphael finds Alopex spying on Leo. And as I said, Raphael doesn't trust Alopex. So he confronts her, and she says that she isn't a bad guy anymore. And Leo is still recovering from the brainwashing by Kitsune. But slowly, step by step, the family comes together. And Mikey is, as you said, the one who, like, he starts a bonfire to, like, cook some sausages and just sit together. And even Raphael offers Alopex to sit with them. It's like, okay, maybe you're telling the truth. Maybe we can work together. But because it's like always like this thing with the turtles, like, okay, so now they're fine at peace. Now everything is good. But then a falcon mutant called Koya is spying on them, and she's part of the Foot Clan. So, like, okay, looks like time for rest is over. But yeah, we're gonna find out where this is going later on.
As we talked about earlier when this episode of Shellonomics started here on Spotify, YouTube, we brought up wrestling, and to me, this is kind of like that spot where, I don't know if you watched that, Christian, but remember there was that WCW, NWO, the War Games, where they didn't know where Sting was going to go, and then Sting comes in, beats up everybody, and leaves. And that's how I feel Alopex is right now, because Raph just is obsessed with saying no, because he thought he trusted her in the beginning. He's like, no, this can't be real. But he doesn't know what's been going on behind the scenes. So that's the way I feel with the whole Alopex story. I love it because you still don't know where it's going to turn. And we still have more drama, coming up in these next few issues here, especially with our buddy Krang in the part 2 of this Utrom series.
Yep, the Utrom Empire #2, where we go back to Burno Island. On Burno Island, the energy is out, and the future droid tells Krang that it has to be turned on again from the outside. So Krang is like, okay, I will do it myself. But he gets shocked by the electricity and gets knocked out when the storm is still coming. So, but in the past, we find out that Krang found out that Utrominon, the home planet of the Utroms, is doomed because all the natural resources of Ooze are depleted. And yeah, once again, there's a confrontation with the rebels and with Zorg. And yeah, now Krang is like, okay, we have to do something about this. We have to do something about the Utroms of the Utrom world. But his father, Quan, is like, nah, everything is fine. Come on, relax. So, but yeah, Krang realizes like, okay, that's not the way it's gonna be with the Utroms. But yeah, that's where Utrom Empire 2 number 2 ends.
And we've got a 2-parter coming up, and we just talked about this earlier. I just like when, TV shows, movies, and even comic books just get you to think, like, where is this going to go? And we might even be wrong. Like, do you ever do that, Christian? Just like, do you try to play guessing, or do you just read it? For me, I try to guess where it's going. Like, am I right? Am I wrong? I don't keep score, but I have more fun guessing. How do you actually read your comic books? Do you just guesstimate, or you just take it in?
No, where's like this mystery, and we get just some bits and pieces that I always try to connect the dots and like try to figure out like, okay, what could this mean? Where could this lead to? Where could this go? Like, I don't know, when there's like a mystery character appearing and like, okay, wait a minute, he did this and he does. Could it be that it is him? Like, to think about like this like half the fun of comics and stories overall. When you're like, okay, could this mean this and could this go there? Like, okay, just think about it. And the best stories are, in my opinion, the ones where you like not just sit there and let like the story flow. You're just getting connected to the story, getting connected to the characters, and try to figure out what's going on. Like, I always love a good mystery story when it's like, okay, trying to figure out what's going on, what's going to happen next. And yeah, I'm definitely one of those who does this because, yeah, it's just fun because, but still, hey, as we said before, these stories they always surprise us, and there are some twists and turns that we did not see coming. So yeah, that's the way I read comics, I guess.
Yeah, because I figure again, you've been reading comics a real long time, and not just Turtles. I know you probably read Marvel, DC. You bounce around. I mean, Turtles are your main slice of pizza, but I'm sure you dip around in the others as well. So, coming up next, like we just said about thinking, this next 2-parter here is going to get some more intense thinking and some crazy battles.
Oh yeah. So we're starting with issue number 31. We see that Rev and Alopex, they really start connecting. Like, okay, we are actually on the same side. And Splinter talks to Leonardo and tells him that he finally has to come back to his family, like leave the trauma that that has happened behind. But then suddenly Koya, the mutant falcon of the Foot Clan, and 4 foot assassins start attacking. And as they are fighting, then Leonardo gets back to his old self with the blue bandana, and he comes in to stop this fight, which goes straight into issue number 32, where there's like this big fight at the farm. And and Rev then even was like he thinks that Alopex let the Foot Clan there, but that's not true. She was running from the Foot Clan too. So during all this craziness, April's mother sees this and the mutants and is like, oh my god, what is going on? After the fight, like Koya and the Foot, they retreat for now, and the turtles realize, like, okay, we have to go back to New York. But before they leave, April gives her mother a vial of ooze that actually heals her father. And so, yeah, nice little happy end there, I would say.
Oh, I forgot to mention too, when you brought up the April's parents in issue number 30, I want to say this IDW series actually embraces and appreciates our old cartoon, because in that one, April's mom was a reporter. So it just, like you say, more just connecting the dots and just little things like that I always like. So, after that humongous two-parter, we have an ending here to the Utram Empire trilogy.
Yeah, with issue number 3 of Utram Empire, where we see in the past the Utrams have lost, the planet is doomed, the rebels once again attack, and there's a big fight, and in the end, Krang leaves the dying planet behind to go to Earth to take it over and make it a new home for his people. That's his big plan. In the present time, the Fugitoid wants to destroy himself so that he isn't useful to Krang anymore. But he gets captured again, and Krang is successful in turning the power back on again on Burno Island. And the Fugitoid tells Krang that he still wants to work with him, and even lies about Baxter's plan to find a way to stop both later on. And so he does his next step and sends a message to Donatello and Karai with information and on how to stop the Technodrome. So yeah, that's gonna be a big storyline later on.
Oh boy, dude. So, do you like where the Zutram story is going, and how did you like the Triceraton debut in this trilogy here?
Oh yeah, it's like I just freaking love the Triceratons, and this is like very interesting because yeah, hey, I mean we got Zork here, and the Triceratons, they are just soldiers for the Utrom, so they like also have this connection here that we did not have in the like original in other stories. And I thought it was very interesting. And yeah, hey, Triceratons every day, man. Just give me the Triceratons. I'm big fan of dinosaurs.
Oh, fingers crossed one day we get a Ninja Turtles movie with those Triceratons in it somehow, some way.
Oh yeah.
I mean, who doesn't mean? Come on, there's tons of Jurassic Park fans out there. Why not have dinos and turtles? It'll sell. We know turtle fans will be there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, we've got our buddy coming back, Mr. Kevin Eastman, with his artwork in this crazy thick annual with something that you talked about earlier, but just want to point out again. My favorite line in this, did he say cowabunga? I just had to throw it in there before you go into this one.
So yeah, we get another annual, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles annual of 2014, where the Turtles, we see that they are back in New York, they're back in the lair, and suddenly in a flash of light, a young woman appears, who is time-traveling Renette, and she takes the Turtles with her. They arrive in a nexus between worlds for a gladiatorial event to fight, to fight other warriors. During this, they meet another fighter named Balthazar, and together they fight in this arena for their lives. And one of the fighters is Zog. So yeah, he's also there. And as the Turtles win this big event, they give a speech about how these games are cruel and should be changed because by then it's like, okay, we just take some warriors from all over the multiverse and throw them into this battle for their entertainment, even though they don't want to fight during all this, and this is really cruel. So, but the council now agrees and sees that it is wrong, and they are like, okay, we will learn from this. We will change this whole thing, like to make it a tournament for all warriors who want to test their powers, and from this, the battle nexus is born. So then Renette in the end steps the turtles back to their home, and yeah, that's our first meeting with Renette in this universe. And gotta say, this, the debut of the Battle Nexus in this world.
How'd you like the black and white coloring in this annual too?
Oh yeah, that's we already talked about this. Like, okay, when you have Kevin Eastman's art, and you do it in black and white, is always like brings me back to classic Mirage feelings, like this classic Mirage feelings. It like this, it just feels right. This is like it should be, and so yeah, it's like, I mean, it's maybe it's weird because the comics, the IDW comics, usual they are in color, and then suddenly there's a story in black and white. But when it is Kevin Eastman, like I take it every day, so that's totally fine with me. It's like, okay, just a little something in between the whole run. So yeah, but hey, Kevin Eastman black and white comics all day, every day.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, buddy. All right, well, now we've got a rapid fire of issues, but we're going to slow it down a little bit because there's some that blend well and some where you get a little breather. But, dude, again, in my notes here, just this shredder is just oh so cold, Christian. Oh, so cold.
Oh boy, yeah, because starting with issue number 33, the Turtles, as I said, they are back in New York, and but they're still not sure. Okay, what should we do? Because Shredder, who is in charge of the underworld, and he wants his empire to grow. So he gives Han a chance to offer Casey a place in the Foot Clan, and he even tells him that he was the one who stabbed his son. And he's like, okay, but hey, if he still is like Casey is still with the turtles, his enemies, then he will die sooner or later. The Foot Clan will destroy him. But if he works for the Foot Clan, hey, that's totally fine. So Han confronts Casey and says like, hey, kid, come with me to the Foot Clan. But Casey refuses and stays with his friends. And so yeah, that's like, as you said, Shredder, that's really cruel. Like, hey, get your kid to work for me, or we kill him. So come on, it's yeah, total normal stuff for Shredder, I guess.
And it's just sad because, it's similar to the Magneto thing that you brought up a lot of times, which is a very good example for comic books, just because a lot of people are trying to figure out right and wrong. Casey's dad's like, dude, I'm happy now. I have direction in my life. And Casey's like, what the hell are you talking about, Dad? You're choosing Shredder over me, your son? Like, are you that psychotic? So, I thought for sure that we were going to see him give his son a hall pass, but boy, was I wrong, and we'll find out later in these other issues. But in the next one, I've been a fan of just reading the Chet all over the place. So we know who Chet is, but in the book, there is somebody that Christian's going to break down, and they say, who the devil's Chet? In issue 34 here.
Yeah, issue number 34. That's we also get some well-known names in there because Donatello, April, and Angel, they meet with Harold as Donatello is getting ready to find a way to stop the Technodrome, and so he needs all the technological help that he can get. And at Harold's place, Angel finds a cool exosuit and a little robotic turtle. And Angel just calls the little robot turtles like, huh, I'm gonna call it Metalhead. Suddenly, Metalhead malfunctions and starts attacking everyone. So Angel puts on the exosuit that's like power enhancing and has some cool weaponry in it. and to fight Metalhead, and yeah, they're able to stop Metalhead for now, to shut him down. And then Harold asks, like, okay, kid, who are you? And she's like, me? I'm just nobody. Like, whoa. Meanwhile, we see that Lindsay, who was April's co-worker at Stock Chen, runs into none other than Old Hop and Slash.
Oh, how scary is that, dude? Because right there, you get, instead of with the Scary Movie, instead of, I believe it was Sydney in Scary Movie, right?
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
So instead of hello Sydney, hello Lindsay.
Oh yeah, so Old Hop can't be really scary.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my dude. So where have you liked this going with Angel? Because we know that word you said, nobody. I'm sure you probably knew where this was going when you started reading this, because you were a big fan of Turtles and everything. So.
Yeah, issue number 35 starts off with Casey, who is visiting his mother's grave, but then Han and the Purple Dragons appear and they confront him. But Angel, aka Nobody, jumps in and helps Casey in this fight because, yeah, as you said, like Casey and Angel, they really have this great connection. They're like childhood friends. And yeah, meanwhile, Mikey and Rev, they go to Old Hop for, think about maybe an alliance. So here they not only see a kid named Lindsay, but also a pigeon mutant named Pete. Hop needs Lindsay to help to create more mutants for his army. And as they talk about, like, okay, but it did not work out really well because Old Hop was testing his mutagen, and that turned out that like during this he created a Beat who is funny, but he's not the smartest one, because for the mutation you also need to stabilize the mutation. You need some psychotropic serum, and to get all this together, he needs Lindsay. And Slash actually gets this psychotropic serum and is like, okay, we have to test it. But Slash is like, no, no, I want this now. And he uses it on himself. And at first he goes wild, he goes on a rampage, but then he calms down and becomes smarter and stable. So yeah, that totally worked. And in the Turtles lair, Splinter and Leonardo, they have a discussion about like what should they do next, because there are two problems at once. First is Krang with the Technodrome. On the other side, we have the Shredder. But what they don't know is that someone is watching them from the darkness.
Oh boy, yeah, you got that right, friend. Just this whole thing with Han is just, I mean, we haven't really talked as graphic as we can get. So just paint this picture, guys, if you can. Put your hands around your neck, and that's pretty much what Han is doing to Angel. I mean, just the artwork in here is just, it gets you to just hit your chest like, oh my God. I mean, he's got these huge hands, and they are just on her on more than one occasion. So, and how do you like the tension between him and Casey and Angel's parents, so to speak? I mean, he's reaching a breaking point too. Angel's father.
Yeah, it's like you really get the feeling like Han here is like, okay, hey, I've got the Foot Clan, I feel strong, I feel powerful, I've really got this purpose in life, and I don't need anyone, not even his friends, not even his son. And yeah, Han is really walking a dark path here. And it's like, I can only imagine how Casey must feel about this whole thing. And yeah, Han is really, boy, I hated him before when he was Arnold, but I gotta say I hate him even now, even more now. So yeah, no fan of Han here.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5-on-1 against this kid. He has no sympathy for his son either. In that battle that the issue we just read. It's like, all right, we got you. You're done. Go get him, boys. Wow, 5-on-1. That's how you're gonna treat your own son? Okay. jackass, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
and other foul language for that man.
Absolutely.
But we've got 2 left, and we've got the Ghost Rider. No, I'm kidding. It's not the Ghost Rider, but he looked like the Ghost Rider for me in this first reaction. Oh, I'm glad you got the kick out of that, because, yeah, you kind of know where I'm going with that one with issue 36.
Oh boy, issue number 36. First off, April's parents, they have come back to New York. But as Splinter and Leonardo, they still talk about the plan for action, like should they take care of the Technodrome or Shredder first. They suddenly run into a mysterious man in the sewers who calls himself the Red King. And it turns out that they are like in his domain, and the Red King shows them some visions to confront some of the fears because it's all just a game for him. And it also turns out that the Red King is actually Kitsune's brother. And like before he leaves, he wipes Leonardo's and Splinter's memories of all this, and they don't remember anything about this. So like, okay, I just had some fun with you, just playing with you. But yeah, that's fine for now. So I'm leaving, and yeah, that's first for the Red King here. But on the end, we have somewhere in the ocean on a boat, the Shredder arrives via helicopter for a meeting with Krang.
Oh, and that's going to be where we have 1 issue left, but it's like, no, don't do this to me. We read Leonardo. He says, I know how to beat Shredder. I want to see that now. I just read that part. I was like, he's got it. Leo is back. Hell yeah. And now it's like, are you serious? Now he's going to go make a deal with the devil, and Shredder's going to make a bigger alliance, so poor Leo's excitement is going to come to an end? Christian, say it ain't so, buddy, in this issue. Say it ain't so.
Well, what can I say? It's like, I mean, it's always like Shredder and Krang. It's like, okay, when they come together, oh, they're gonna team up because, hey, we know it from the classic cartoons. It's just the way it has to be, right? Well, let's find out in issue number 37, where first we check in with Alopex, who is still in Northampton and she's alone. Then Kitsune appears to her and tells her that she has to go back to New York because Kitsune like can really manipulate Alopex. Like, okay, you have to go back to New York. It's just, okay, I will do that. Shredder, meanwhile, meets with Krang and they really talk about an alliance. But Krang is like, nope, not interested in this. And with a punch through his chest, kills the Shredder. Like, oh my God, what happened? But Shredder is a master ninja, and it was all just a trick. And that was not the real Shredder. The real Shredder disguised himself as a foot soldier. So, of course, a big fight starts between the Foot, including Koya and a new mutant, a mutant shark called Bludgeon, and Krang's soldiers. After the fight, like the boat is sinking, and both sides retreat to fight another day. So yeah, so I guess we got that out of the system. Like, okay, will Shredder and Krang team up? Like, nope, that's not gonna happen here. And yeah, that was really, I would say once again, as it is with IDW comics, it's not like the way I thought it would work out. And yeah, I just love to be surprised with the stories, and you never know what's gonna happen next. So, but yeah, this is the end of IDW Collection Volume 4.
Oh, they got me again too. It's like that uncle that just always gets you, where he taps you on the shoulder and he makes you look one way and he's like on the other side saying, "Ha, gotcha." So they got me, dude. I thought for sure. I'm like, okay, here we go. And it's like, been there, done that, guys. Let's go a different route for now. It just makes you, and I can see why, this Shredder is the top dog so far in your, when you ranked on your podcast up. So you'll have to let me know where that one is. So when we plug you at the end of the show, I'll be sure to leave that on my YouTube comment so others can find that episode. Because, dude, it's not only that Shredder is so cold and heartless and a damn good fighter, it's also very intelligent. How did he know Krang was going to try and kill him? And he's like, nope, that ain't me, pal. Sorry, ain't wrong. So I mean, is there any weakness to this man, Christian? Before we get, you know what happens, obviously, but just up to this point, we've covered 4 books now. He's trying to be immortal. He knows everything from the past. I mean, have you seen any weakness for our listeners here on Shellonomics that the Turtles might be able to? Leonardo thinks he's got it. Do you have a hunch?
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be some once again some interesting twists with the Shredder later on, but by now, like with book 3 and 4 here, like Shredder really seems like this impossible obstacle. Like he cannot be defeated. Like he's just too smart. He's too good. And yeah, not even Splinter was able to like fight him on the same level. Like Shredder like broke his leg and took him out. So Shredder is just that good. And as you said, it seems like he has become immortal, or he cannot be killed in a normal way. But yeah, we will see. We will see what happens. And it's going to be very interesting over the next few books. That much I can tell you.
Well, I can't wait because I'm like, wait a minute, where's my buddy Leatherhead? He's got to be in here somewhere. They wouldn't have this whole series without one of the more popular characters of Turtles in comics and cartoons. We know Leatherhead's going to show up eventually. Will he be in book 5 or 6? We're going to stop it there, and you're going to have to find out, guys, because if you need more Turtles podcasts and all that stuff, and you want to get more Shredder, our good friend Christian has you covered on his channel with English episodes of the new Shredder comics, don't you, Christian?
Oh yeah, that's absolutely true. Like as I said, I have my own podcast, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Talk, that you can check out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever you listen to podcasts. And yeah, I'm talking about like the mostly about the current comics, because yeah, IDW is still pumping them out and they're not stopping. There's so much going on. Like yeah, as you said, there's a Shredder miniseries currently going on that's really good. And yeah, if you want to hear me talking about all this stuff, all this good turtle stuff, check out the podcast or check out the website tmnttalk.com, where you find like all the stuff. So yeah, come on over, check it out, and yeah, you might enjoy it.
Please do, guys, because not only does Christian do the new stuff, he has old stuff, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on your own show. We're not going to have it here, but because I know you're going to bring it up, because you have your own Discord server where it's just popping with tons and tons of turtle news, and I'm excited to see what you talk about, because I wouldn't say it's a spoiler anymore, but I want to hear your thoughts on your podcast about the Mattel toys, because the Turtles now are going to be with Mattel next year, and I'm curious to see your thoughts, your predictions. Are they going to go with the old 87 Turtles, or has that been, done, like, beaten like a dead horse? Are they going to make current products? So I'm really curious to hear your take on it, because you do throw in a lot of new stuff on your show, as well as your own thoughts and opinions. So my brother, as always, it's always a blast talking Turtles with you. It's one of my favorite things to do every week. I look forward to this, and I can't wait until we break down books 5 and 6 next week with you, buddy.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be interesting, and yeah, also looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun as always.